Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Impact Wrestling Under Siege. Yesterday on Fight TV and on the Impact Plus app. So it's a really good show. A little bit late watching it today, but hey, I'll get Backlash watch tonight, tomorrow, and do a video about it tomorrow night. But yeah, we're going to run down this Impact Under Siege card. Great matches, 9 matches. Average star rating for the entire show is 3.13, which was great. It's one of the best shows of the year by Impact. If you're wondering where I come up with that, basically I star rate each match, divided by the number of matches, and there you go. Alright, first match, we had Brian Myers versus Black Taurus. This match was a decent match. It wasn't anything spectacular. Brian Myers, really, because Black Taurus is with Crazy Steve and Rosemary as Decay. On their ringside, Brian Myers, hit Crazy Steve once. He kind of stalked after Rosemary. It's like, really, man. It was really a quick roll up, holding tights, and kind of cheated his way to win. But Brian Myers did get the victory there. I give it 2.5. It was an okay match. Next up, we have a women's tag match. We had Kimberly and Susan, who have been teaming together for probably a good 9 months to a year, along with Deanna Peraza. And they were going against Tenille, Dashwood, and Taylor Wilde. Taylor Wilde returning at Hardcore Justice. Tenille Dashwood had been looking for a tag partner. And she had challenged or causing havoc with Kimberly and Susan, and they challenged her to a tag match. She said, I have a tag partner, Taylor Wilde. And Taylor kind of, whatever, I'll agree to it kind of deal. Kimberly and Susan, like I said, have been tagged together for a while, so they have a lot of cohesion. They did get the victory here, 2.5 star match. Susan, her character, they're kind of doing like Mick Foley did. So you have Su Yung is what her alter ego is. If you've not seen Su Yung, this kind of disgusting kind of creature that has this bloody glove that she puts on, does like a claw type thing with. And then there's her other ego, which is Susie, who's happy-go-lucky and everything is great. And then Susan is this businesswoman in a business suit, kind of, I can beat you. And so she goes back and forth between Su Yung, Susie, and Susan. Next up, we had the #1 contender match for the tag titles. It was a Fatal 4-Way. We had a team of Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus Rohit, Raju, and Shera versus XXXL, which is Larry D and AC Romero. And then the other team was TJP and Petey Williams. This was actually a really good match. They kind of broke it off where you would have a tag team in the ring doing something and the other one's kind of on the outside. And it seemed like a Fatal 4-Way. It's more or less, kind of a team, this team kind of deal. Overall, it was a pretty good match. Like I said in the preview, I think Ace Austin and Madman Fulton winning. They did win. I ended up giving it about 3.5 star. Next up, we have W.Morrissey versus Willie Mack. Pretty much each guy did their own moves, and that was it. There was nothing really special to it, Morrissey getting the pin over Willie Mack, which I kind of don't know why you even put this match together. One of those could have been done on a regular Impact, not on a monthly special pay-per-view. Morrissey getting the victory. I ended up giving it 2 3/4. Picked that in the preview as well. Next up is the Knockout Tag Titles on the line. We had champion Jordynne Grace and Rachael Ellering. Rachael Ellering coming to Impact last month at Hardcore Justice and teaming up with Jordynne Grace to win the Knockouts Tag Titles over Fire and Flava. Fire and Flava were the first ever Knockout Tag Champions. Tasha, Steelz, and Kiera, Hogan. Surprisingly to me, they regained the titles here. So Fire and Flava once again the Knockout Tag Champions. I give the match 2 3/4. I'd like to kind of see what happens from here. With Rachael Ellering coming in, winning the belts with Jordynne Grace, now losing the belts. Are we setting up a feud with Grace and Ellering, which I'm fine with. Either one of them should be in the title hunt for the singles title, but we'll see where that goes on Thursday. Next up, match that I said in the preview would be match of the night. Ended up being the X Division Championship on the line. We had El Phantasmo from New Japan versus champion Josh Alexander. This match, yeah, there was a couple spots in there where El Phantasmo likes to walk the top rope, and he did his, typical that. They did a couple, jumps to the outside. I mean, I didn't write down move for move what they did. I don't really do that anymore because, it's a great match, But, it looked like it for a while, and El Phantasmo was going to get the victory. He had a couple, false finishes where he had it pretty close, to get the pinfall. Of course, the announcers, D'Lo Brown, and, oh my God, what's the other dude's name? Wow. Matt Striker. They, really played that part of, when you have a good match with good announcers. They're not great by no means, but they're good. And you believe that, somebody like an El Phantasmo can win. When they get kicked out of that, 1-2, and they kick out, it's like, oh my God, that's just it. It kind of brings the match up. But overall, a great match. Josh Alexander did retain the title, like I did say in the preview. I give it 4-star. So it was a great match. Their match of the night. Next up, we had the Knockout Women's title on the line. We had champion Deonna Purrazzo versus Havoc. Havoc, she just looked winded in this match, and she just looked like she was just off a step. Just what she's been in the past and what she was as a tag team in Nevaeh. Deonna Purrazzo looked great. One of her better matches. I ended up giving the match 3 1/4. It did deliver to me, and I enjoyed it a lot. And then our sub-main, which was shocking, we had the 6-man tag of Eddie Edwards and Finjuice versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. Obviously, Don Callis was out there and got involved. There was a little runoff with Kenny Omega and Eddie Edwards, which looked really good together. I'd love to see that one for the title. But yeah, like I said in the preview, Eddie Edwards and Finjuice, Impact ended up getting the victory over AEW guy Kenny Omega. Ended up giving the match 3 1/2. Thought it looked really good. I can't wait to see where we go from here. I know the main event was the 6-way match for the #1 contender to see who's going to face Kenny Omega for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. I did like the fact that when Eddie came out, he had the AEW title on and held up the TNA title and the Impact title. He needs to get rid of that TNA title. I don't know why they're even dealing with it right now. But the fact he held it and acknowledged it, I actually like that. So we had the 6-way: Sami Callihan, Chris Bay, Matt Cardova, Trey Miquel, Chris Sabin, and Moose. Like I said in the preview, only a couple of guys I could see even possibly winning this and going against Kenny Omega. I know when Callihan came out, the Good Brothers came out and attacked him. So you kind of, Don Callis looked at Sami Callihan as a threat. So they were out, part of the match, attacking people. Chris Bay just basically did his spots. Trey Miquel did his spots. Chris Sabin was Chris Sabin. At the end of the day, we had Moose looking like this badass, kind of 6'7", 350, that I can beat anybody there is kind of deal. Him getting the pinfall victory. And going on to, I don't know if it's going to be against all odds or at Slammiversary, but we're going to have Moose versus Kenny Omega for the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. I ended up giving that match 3 1/2 from the preview. Picked 6 and 9. So I was pretty happy with that. I don't say predictable show, but it kind of went to lines of what I thought it was going to go. So I did enjoy it overall. Best show of the year for Impact Wrestling. Can't wait for Slammiversary and get that Impact Wrestling title back on an Impact Wrestling and away from Kenny Omega. But I do like the storylines of the Forbidden Door and having the New Japan guys and Impact, AEW guys coming to Impact. I do want to see a little bit more, but especially I want to see the Impact guys more besides the Good Brothers going over to AEW. I want to see Moose over in AEW doing something. Maybe a Sami Callihan. Just kind of have that 2-way streak, because you only really have the Good Brothers going over there. Of Impact guys, Good Brothers, I think Swan once, that's it. So I do hopefully continue that. But stay tuned to our Sports Show. Get the review of WrestleMania Backlash up. Hopefully tomorrow night, if not Tuesday. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show for the review of Game Changer Wrestling Draft Day. There's one reason that I want to talk about that, so stay tuned for that. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports talent content.